Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into Kura Sushi's latest quarterly report, and let me tell you, this one has a surprising twist. It's a little like ordering your favorite sushi roll and finding a tiny fortune cookie inside, some good, some bad. We will soon know what's up. It all started with net loss and a few twists and turns to end up with an optimistic yet conservative outlook. Before we get started, if you enjoy straight insights and analysis of those corporate document deep dives, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and join our Discord for detailed questions and discussion. Link is in the description. Let's kick things off with a snapshot of where Kura Sushi stands. As of May 31, 2025, their total assets clocked in at about 419.4 million nines. That number gives you a sense of the overall scale of the company and its resources, with property net being the largest part. Digging deeper into the balance sheet, we see that current assets, so assets that can be easily converted to cash within a year, stood at $72 million. Important part here being 47 tall dollars. What this means is a good cushion to deal with short-term obligations, which are the next thing we are going to look at. Current liabilities, also called short-term obligations, were around $38.5 million. So looking at those two numbers alone, it's pretty healthy. One worth mentioning is the $9.9 million in salaries to be paid. Now, turning to the income statement, it's telling us how much money the company made, but also how efficiently. For the 3 months ending in May 2025, sales were solid at around $74 million. Sales are the number one revenue driver that we want to look at. Diving below the surface to see the ingredients that makes up the performance, we observe that the first basic important component is the cost of goods sold, or more specifically food and beverages, was around $21 million for the quarter. And there is labor and related expenses, another huge cost representing what the company had to pay in salaries and wages, which was $24.5 million. Now this tells you what costs are required to keep the business alive. General and administrative expenses, those overhead costs, ran about $7 million for the quarter. Now the numbers at the bottom are not very pretty for a change. After all the expenses, Kura is showing a loss of around 4.442 million for those 3 months. Bummer, this means that they are not making all that much progress in what Wall Street cares the most, net profit. Taking a closer look at how these profits and losses translates to investors, we can take a peek at the net income per share, which goes to its Class A and B shareholders. With about 12 million shares being thrown around, the loss is not too impressive at 9.5, is not too impressive at 155 live 3 times to reach 125 per share. Meaning it would have to be multiplied roughly 3 times to reach $1 is not too impressive at Botserio E35 per share. Meaning it would have to be multiplied roughly 3 times to reach $1. Now the document talks about a lot of various stocks and ways their employees are compensated, and it's a pretty standard affair, but it is worth noting that it is another expense for the company. Here's the scroll tag stock incentive plan. Kura Sushi actually has a revolving credit agreement with Kura Japan. It's basically a credit line that can amount up to $45 million. This gives them extra financial flexibility because a lot of people like to have those. However, it can be used irresponsibly. Legal troubles sometimes bubble up, and here the report mentions an action filed in the Superior Court, though they are currently unable to really estimate what's up or down. If this thing goes south, it could get somewhat pricey for Kura, but we hope for the best. The effective tax rates for the 3 and 9 months ended May 31, 2025, substantially differed from the federal statutory tax rate of 21%. I suggest consulting with a specialist to figure out how to play these tax benefits. Here is the substantially differed from the federal statutory tax rate section. Here's some stuff about fair value measurements. Basically, they're showing how they value some of their assets in this financial report. There are things like how they determine a fair price for investments like certificates of deposit, US Treasury bills, and US government agency debt. These estimates rely on market data to come up with fair values. Here is the scroll tag, fair value measurements. If one wants to explore it further, Kura Sushi's official side of those results includes factors like the number of restaurants they are operating, what the sales performance is at each spot cost, and how they are making progress. It's the company line. Here's where to find that line. Management's discussion and analysis of financial condition and results of operations. Now, my take on Kura Sushi going forward is that the path they are on could lead them to victory or certain death. The fact there are 76 locations is a good stepping ground. It's up to Kura to manage the cost so they can start printing more profit to satisfy the street and to be able to keep funding their growth. Alright, that's our breakdown of Kura Sushi's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.